East Syracuse Minoa versus Liverpool High School girls soccer game took place on a sunny September Saturday afternoon. The energy in the small but noisy crowd was high. It was not only a doubleheader. The boys soccer team played right before the girls. It was also a fundraiser event for a cancer awareness organization called the Cara Fund. And a girls soccer alumni game was set to follow the team's match with Liverpool High School. The ESM Spartans scored 2 goals in each half, ultimately winning the game 4-0. WAER's Carl Winter caught up with some of the players after their win.
I'm Isabel Shavesty. I'm a goalkeeper.
I'm Angelina Polcaro. I play forward.
I'm Giselle Michaelham. I play center mid.
I'm Natalie Peterson. I play center mid.
First of all, another clean sheet for you guys. Obviously, you guys have scored a bunch of goals, but how do you take pride in keeping other teams off the board, even when the scoreline is not really in doubt as you keep going with that streak this season?
That's all the defense. All the credit's got to go to Laura, Marker, Leah Shavesty, and Alina Kurcic. They're unstoppable. They just sprint and go hard for every single ball, and that's one of the main reasons we're a clean sheet so far.
And Lena, for you, how do you guys share the ball up at the top of the formation? And obviously, you want to put up goals and assists yourself, but it seems like you guys have been able to spread the wealth pretty well.
Yeah, we have to focus on teamwork because that's how we score most of our goals, getting it back to the midfield. It's not just about pushing it forward every time. You want to pass it back, work the midfield, switch fields, and it's working pretty good for us. So, yeah.
Yeah, it absolutely is. And Giselle, you had 2 goals today. How do you kind of describe your role, center attacking mid, kind of taking command in the middle of the field? How is your role in the formation there?
I think I work pretty well, especially with Nat, and then Lena and Leah up top. They're really great up top. Yeah, and Nat's great she's great at assists. Yeah, I love playing with them. They're great.
They're really great.
And Natalie, you had a big game today as well. How important are the set pieces and corners to getting you guys on the score line and just winning games in general?
I think they play a big role. We get that time to either play a really fast free kick or a fast corner kick with Lena. Like it catches the team off guard, and to be able, if we can score on them, it really takes the edge off the game.
You guys have obviously gotten off to a great start this year and taking control of the region here in Central New York. Do you guys think about that at all, like the other teams, the other programs, and how you guys have kind of made a name for yourself as a program this year and in previous years?
Yeah, I think we do keep the lead for most of the time. We still do have good competition. Liverpool's a really good team. We played JD about a week ago, and I don't know. I just think if we keep pushing strong, we'll keep the way it is.
Giselle, this could really be for any of you, but I'll ask you and see if anyone else wants to add anything. Obviously, COVID has kind of played a big role in you guys' high school experience. I can't imagine the things that you guys have missed. So I know that you still have to deal with it this year, but what's it like, kind of having a more normal season, a postseason to look forward to? How is this year different than the stuff you had to deal with last year and the year before?
Last year and the year before, we pushed through it. It was tough, but we pushed through it. Sophomore year, we went undefeated still, so that was pretty good.
Whoa, we could have I was so mad.
We were so mad about sectionals, but
It feels good to be able to go far this season and to have that opportunity, because sophomore year we couldn't, and last year we were so close, and it just makes this year that much more special that it's our senior year and we want to just go all the way.
We need the chip before we graduate.
That's our goal.
Yeah, and then I think just last thing in general for any of you, what makes this year's team special compared to any other team you played on? You guys have obviously had a lot of success on the field, but I'm sure there are plenty of things that go on behind the scenes that you can really attribute the success to.
Yeah, we've grown up with each other playing soccer our whole entire lives. Since ESM youth sports, we've been there, the chemistry's there, and the fact that we get an opportunity to all finally be on the big screen or whatever and go all the way, it's really special to us.
Isabel, the goaltender, has a sister who also plays on the team. Her sister, Leah Shavesty, is a sophomore midfielder and defender. Carl sat down with Leah as well as their parents, Tom and Beth, to talk about what it's like having sisters on this dominant team.
Leah, first of all, for you, just what has been special about this season so far? Obviously, you guys have had a lot of success on the field, but what is kind of the behind the scenes that shows that success?
A lot of team dinners. We hang out. We're all good friends, so it's easier for us to play together.
Gotcha. And one thing that I've gotten from talking to the coaches and to the players is that a lot of these girls have kind of grown up together, and this is a team with a lot of experience playing in this program. So for you, how have you seen that amongst your daughters and this team kind of growing up together?
So the girls started playing together when they were, kindergarten age, like little kickers and ESM youth sports, and they were on the Forza Club together for many years. So I feel like they just know each other and they know each other's play, so it makes it a lot easier. He could probably talk a little more to that too.
I would say definitely the secret to success for a lot of teams is that playing together, growing up together. You just gain confidence and trust, and you know where your teammate's going to be before they're even there. And this team has definitely been playing together during season and off season since they were little, since the ESMU sports. So all the time and effort that they put into it and all the time and effort that the parents put into it is definitely showing and paying off at this point in time.
For all three of you, obviously COVID has had a huge impact on the high school experience and beyond that as well. And not that it's gone away, obviously it's still a big concern, but this season, having more to look forward to in terms of the postseason and such, how nice is it to kind of have a full season to look forward to and not have to deal with it as much in school and in sports as well? I'll start with you.
Oh, it's definitely a lot easier to not have to worry about it, and the kids don't have to, get tested constantly and be worried that if they, get something that they're not going to be able to play or that their team's going to have to postpone. All that stress is gone, so it's been lovely to not have that around.
I'm just extremely happy for the seniors this year that they get to have a normal senior season. My heart broke for the seniors of 2020 and 21. They got gypped from their season by COVID. So to be able to be in the stands and cheer them on and get to watch them play their last season, such a blessing. And we're so thankful that COVID is behind us.
The East Syracuse Minoa Spartans are currently ranked as the number 2 team in New York's Class A girls soccer. They lost the section title last year to New Hartford, a team that went on to become the 2021 state champion and the only team ranked higher than ESM in Class A girls soccer. Now, ESM believes it's their turn to take the section title. They're undefeated so far this season and have won their games by an average of more than 5 goals each, and an opposing team has yet to score on them. WAER's Carl Winter spoke with the woman leading them through their season, Coach Jamie Vollmer, on what makes them such a strong team and what makes them contenders for the section title.
Hi, Jamie Vollmer. I've been teaching physical education at ESM High School this is my 23rd year. 23rd year coaching soccer, but my 16th year coaching the ESM girls varsity soccer team.
Obviously, it's been a very successful start to the season for the team. To what do you attribute that, just for the program in general, but also for this year's 2022 team?
We're coming off a hot season last year where we fell short to New Hartford by 2 goals, who then New Hartford went on to be state champs. So that left a spot in the heart, and the girls have been working hard in the off season, and we got a great group back. 4 out of our 5 seniors have 4 to 6 years of experience playing on the varsity team with us. So just that chemistry and that culture and that leadership is definitely leading us into the right direction this season.
Gotcha. And Coach, 2022, thankfully, you don't really have to deal with COVID restrictions as much or worrying about that. Not that it's over, but just kind of having definitely more games to look forward to. What's that been like to try and kind of get back to normal and have more things to look forward to as a team?
It's super exciting having some normalcy in sports. Once sports were a green light to go, that was something that brought us all back together. But COVID is still out there, and unfortunately, if a player tests positive for COVID, they're out for a minimum of 10 days. So it's definitely around, and it definitely can impact a sports team or a season, because you take, a couple girls off the field for 10 days, that can definitely change things. So it's definitely in the back of my mind, and the girls kind of laugh at me, but anytime we go through the handshakes, I'm telling them, get back over, put your hand sanitizer on right now. But so far, we've been healthy, knock on wood, but it's definitely something that's still in the back of my mind, even though we're better about COVID, it's still there, and there's still consequences if you test positive.
Yeah, and over your time with the program, obviously you guys have become kind of a force here in central New York. Do you think about that at all, like how your program stacks up with the best in the region, the best in the state, and just, do you try and emulate any other programs, or you kind of just focus on yourselves?
Right now we're just focusing on ourselves and trying to do what we know has been working. We are trying to change the culture here a little bit, in the sense that there was a decade of JD, which is a great program, winning sectional championships. So after 10 years of them winning the sectional championship, New Hartford breaking that last year, we're looking for a change. We're hoping to be one of those top teams in our area, Section 3, regionally, and hopefully someday statewide. So hopefully to leave our mark someday soon.
And Coach, being a former, athlete yourself at a high level, as well as I do that coaching is a lot more than just X's and O's. The tactics, especially with high school kids, with college kids as well. I mean, there's off the field issues. There's plenty of things that they're going through. So how do you try and manage that and teach them and know that, they might be dealing with homework off the field or other things off the field, and try to incorporate life lessons into also trying to make them the best soccer players they can be? Right.
No, and that you hit it right, the nail on the head, because it's about being able to connect with your players too. They got to want to work for you. I more so this year than in past years, I'm doing more team bonding. I'm doing more exercises where they are having fun together, keeping it light. They know when I'm serious, but also at the same time laughing with them and making them feel as though that they can talk to me about anything or have an open door policy. Because like you said, I played soccer. I was fortunate to play at Syracuse University, and I've had some coaches in my career where I may not have felt that way. So for me, it's very important to have players that feel comfortable talking to me on and off the field.
Trying to build a team culture and, a culture where everyone thinks about the team rather than themselves. But also you probably have some players that have aspirations of playing in college and, want to individually excel in order to impress, those college coaches or people that might be watching them play. So how do you balance that, having super talented individuals, but also getting them to buy into the overall team dynamic?
We have a great parent support base, and I think that has a lot to do with it, is what's going on off the field at homes. And I think the parents are competitive like I am, and we want to win. But ultimately, the girls, they enjoy spending time with each other. Yes, we have some players that, might be getting more stats than other players, but we are working so hard to continue to teach them that it's a team sport, right? There's no I in team, so we are doing what we need to do, and that is something that I check in with the players, and before we get into our first game, I'll have individual conversations with the girls, and we just touch base on where do you see yourself fitting this season? Do you see yourself as a developing player, an impact player? And so then we have these conversations and we go over expectations and where we see them. So I think opening that conversation in the beginning and having them experience some of the successes in the past has put the team hopefully in front of those individual goals. So, I know in the back of people's minds, they are looking at stats and looking at goals and assists and shutouts and things like that. And that is, important, for college coaches to see. But ultimately, if you come from a program that wins a state championship and, is known for a great program, there's something to be said about that too. So.
The ESM Spartans' next game is tonight against the Syracuse City girls soccer team. ESM beat that team earlier this season 9-0.